Space, we're here with Henry Vogel. He is the CEO of a brand new app called Raved. So, Henry, tell us about Raved.
So we're really excited. We just launched it a couple weeks ago, and it basically is a social recommendation platform. It helps friends find, save, and share great places with each other. So you can think about it in some respects as having a lot of great recommendations for places, but just from your friends, and give users a really easy way to find and save places to their own sort of personal directory, and then share them with their friends so that they can find whether it's a restaurant or a nightclub or a hair salon or a home service business. It's any kind of business, but with recommendations from people that you know and trust.
That's excellent. And sometimes we get tired of the bad reviews on Yelp and so forth. So it's nice to know that it's more about, proclaiming something that's great about a service. So what does this app do that's different from other apps out there? There's a ton of apps out there. So tell us.
No, absolutely. I mean, the good news is it's in the kind of right in the center of that whole social, local kind of mobile space. You mentioned Yelp. Actually, Yelp's one of our partners, and in many respects, we believe in helping augment and build upon a lot of the information that's out there, but with that really kind of very clear focus on the personal and the social components. So, for example, you could have great reviews on Yelp, and you can read through them and kind of get a flavor for the place, but you may not know if the people that you're reading those reviews from necessarily share the same taste as you, or whether or not they are the people that come from your network. My kind of belief is if you think picture's worth 1,000 words, a recommendation, a referral from one of your friends is worth 1,000 reviews. It's something that without a lot of other detail, a lot of information, you can kind of very quickly, your mind contextualizes and places that recommendation. I've got friends who are foodies, and Vaughn and Bridget have the best taste in food. Whether it's here or whether it's in Europe, they're kind of global travelers, and I know if Vaughn and or Bridget have actually recommended a place, it's going to be great. Now, on the other hand, I have friends who are great mechanics. I have a friend in Chicago, actually, we were talking about Chicago earlier, who takes apart and restores Corvettes. Now, Jerry's not necessarily a foodie, but he's got great expertise and knowledge around mechanics and car parts and dealers and all that kind of information. So I can, again, without having to get much, information necessarily, long reviews or point systems or whatnot, get, a recommendation from a friend that actually brings additional value to the great reviews that you might read from Yelp or other online sources.
And that's really interesting, and I think that on the user end is great, and you understand your users and what they want. But let's talk about behind. You're talking. Let's look under the hood of Raved. Let's talk about the social data that you aggregate to make it work.
Sure. Yeah, one of the things that's I think also unique about Raved is we don't think that, and we're not trying to build a new social network. We think there's enough social networks out there. On the other hand, we think that the data, in particular around places and place recommendations for data, is not easy to find or to sort or to kind of leverage. And so Raved is built on top of Facebook and Foursquare today. We're looking at other kind of networks, hopefully maybe LinkedIn or Google Plus or others down the road that we'll pull in as well. But when a user connects with Raved, the very first thing that we do is help you connect via Facebook. And we pull in all of the likes and the check-ins and the data from your friends, your network on Facebook, and convert those into raves. So if your friends have liked a place within Facebook, either on Facebook and one of the fan pages in the app or on a website, there's the Facebook like buttons now propagated all over the web. We take that information, filter it, and present it to the user in a really easy to find and sort fashion. So we bring in all that information about places that people have liked as recommendations. We also take the check-in data from Facebook and from Foursquare, and if friends have checked in multiple times, we convert those into raves as well. And we share that data with the user and let them see how many times has this friend checked into this place, when was the last time they checked in. So again, you have that information about this recommendation. And it was surprising to us, in fact, when we first started down this path, that information is really hard to come by in either Facebook or Foursquare. If you want to kind of search for, I've got a bunch of friends in Chicago. I'm going there later this week, and if I were to try and find restaurant recommendations from my friends in Facebook, it's really hard to do. It's on the desktop kind of website, it's sort of buried 4 or 5 links deep. You have to go to a specific friend, you have to find their likes, you have to go down below, movies and TV shows and books and whatnot to find their other activities and interests, and then you get this sort of stacked link of a bunch of places that they may not even be places. There's a bunch of articles and pictures. So what Raved does is just make that super easy and super kind of fun to be able to just explore the recommendations that your friends have for places. The other thing, just coming back to the data you were talking about, that we've built this database, aggregating this database of 20 million plus merchants in the US. And that data comes from our partners like Yelp and Foursquare and Facebook, comes from Factual, comes from CityGrid and AT&T Interactive. So we're aggregating and creating what we hope to be this sort of one-stop shop where you have all of your favorite places and all the great information about them, whether it's their contact info, their menus about them if they're restaurants, links to OpenTable to make reservations if that's what you want to do, links to other useful kind of links or resources like Facebook or Foursquare or Yelp, so you can get just with one easy access, have all that information about your favorite places.
That sounds like a great app. Now, how do you monetize it?
Sorry.
No worries. Take your time.
High level, I think one thing that's important in this kind of social local mobile space, we just think if we're successful building this really useful consumer tool, which is what our primary kind of goal is up front, we just really think that there's something incredibly valuable about helping friends kind of find and share great places together. That's really valuable real estate because you've got purchase intent, and people are going to be looking at Rave to find the place that they're going to go out to, whether it's on a business trip to Chicago like I'm going to, or where to go on the weekend, or what plumber or kind of repairman to find if you're at home. So that's the high level. I think that's just, if we can capture that user intent, it's incredibly valuable real estate for folks to be able to connect with those consumers. Now, coming down to earth, kind of 3 very specific ways that we can monetize out of the gate. First is we're actually already putting deals and offers into the app. So if there's a deal or an offer, whether it's coming from Facebook or from any number of daily deal sites like Groupon and Living Social, if it's coming from CityGrid or restaurants.com, a variety of different sources, that information is out there on the web. Raved actually pulls it all together and puts it in one place for you. So you don't actually have to kind of sift through your emails or have your personal life kind of bombarded with deals for places that you don't know or care about. The places that you love and that you have saved or raved, the deals that are available are right there. And those, have rev share or bounties and the like. That's actually our legacy business, is in the ad network space. The second type of revenue comes from affiliate relationships and services. So if, again, like I was talking about earlier, Raved is this one-stop shop where you have all the information about your favorite places. OpenTable reservations have an affiliate relationship so that we can get paid if people are using Raved to make reservations. Grubhub is another source. If you're doing online ordering from a restaurant for delivery or takeout, has an affiliate type relationship. So we're building in services that would be valuable to the end user, but actually generate revenue as well. And then our big vision, longer term, is we think Rave just has an incredible amount of really valuable data about customers for local merchants. And ultimately, we believe this is going to be a new channel for local businesses to be able to connect with and communicate with their best customers. And we believe there'll be a way to monetize it there as well as a set of services. You can kind of customize the information. You can use Rave to upload different pictures or communicate different offers. And we think essentially Rave could become the mobile presence for local businesses.
And do you think that you have ways to incentivize users to be influencers on this platform and to their friends?
It's something we've talked a lot about. In fact, we had a big debate about whether Raved should include negative reviews as well as positive reviews. And our decision and really the philosophy is all about Raved is about the places that you love. It's kind of a little bit what my mom told me growing up, which is if you don't have something good to say, don't say anything. And Raved really is intending to be this ecosystem where places that you truly love that are great that you can share with your friends, because not just that you're sharing it with everybody, you're sharing it with your friends, just like you might in passing, the word of mouth recommendations when friends are saying, hey, I'm going here, or does anybody know of a good kind of plumber or whatever. You're actually sharing it with your friends. So there's that element. Related to that, your question was about kind of an incentive system. There's all this talk and so many other apps. Foursquare's done a fabulous job gamifying the check-in, and mayorships and badges and points. And I don't mean to dismiss that, because that's obviously there's human behavior and psyche around games. We really were just trying to make Rave something really useful and valuable. Not a game, but actually something that is really powerful and helpful to your friends.
People actually want to do it naturally, is what you want to see, that it's a part of their sharing ability.
Exactly, and for one of the things we wanted to do absolutely was just make it really easy. If you think about it, to make a recommendation today, it's actually pretty hard. The friend of mine that might give me a recommendation or might have mentioned something, a week or a month ago, I don't write it down, or I forget, or maybe it's like on a post-it note someplace. Raved is just a super easy way to say, here's the place, let me just rave it, and you can have access to it. And just the same, we've built in tools where you can ask friends for recommendations. So, hey, does anybody know this place? And we post to your Facebook kind of wall, and friends who know the place can write a quick kind of tip and tell you, oh yeah, you should order this, or you should make sure to ask for Steve, or it gets really crowded after 7, so make sure to that kind of information flow is out there, and your friend network has it, but we're trying to make it just really easy and attach it to the places.
Is it also geolocation based?
It does, and I don't know if the camera can see it, if we can, or we could, I can.
Do you want to do a demo? Because we could basically, let's wrap up and say, so if they want to know more about Rave, where should they go?
www.raved, raved.com. They can go to iTunes or Google Play for iPhone and iPod Touch, obviously on iTunes, and for Google Play, any Android devices. That's one of the things I should have said up front. We're excited today to launch and announce the launch of the Android device. And you can also go to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/raved.
Excellent. Thanks.